All right, welcome back to Blue Collar Homestead. Today's video, we are going to do something to do with cooking. It's kind of a gnarly day outside, really windy, cold, rainy. So what I'm going to do is go over the Blackstone Pizza Oven for the 17-inch Blackstone griddle. Now, I've looked around and I didn't really see any videos for this out there. I see it for the bigger one, the 22-inch. And then I also see the freestanding pizza oven that Blackstone makes that's just a pizza oven, and that's not what this video is about. I haven't seen any with the 17-inch, and I'll show you the conversion and all that stuff. I've already used it once, and it worked really well, making homemade pizza. But, like I said, I haven't seen any videos out there, you know, showing how the conversion is or how it works or anything like that. So, let's head outside onto the deck where it's sitting, and we'll go over the conversion real quick, and then we'll fire it up and we'll get to making some pizza. All right, you can see we're out on the deck right now. Now I did close my deck in with shower curtains, so to run this thing, I got to open the door because you don't want to deal with carbon monoxide and all that good stuff, or bad stuff. But to do the conversion on this one is actually super easy. I mean, this is, like I said, this is the 17-inch Blackstone griddle. I mean, I've seen some of the other stuff on the 22-inch, people saying it's kind of a pain, this, that, the other thing, but for this one, it's pretty much super easy. You grab the griddle, you just pick it up, set it over here. You grab the pizza oven, and it slides right inside this hole. Now, of course, you had to add this. There's a metal plate that comes with the pizza oven that goes underneath here. It's like a heat shield, basically, because this oven's gonna get hotter than probably hotter than the Blackstone griddle will, because it's got all the stones in it and more metal to it and whatnot. But let me grab that, put it on here, and then we're going to fire this thing up. This is it right here. So you just pick this up, set it right on top of here. That slides in there just like that. You're going to pull this off. I'll just set this off to the side for a minute. Now you can tell I've already used this thing once, and it worked really well. So I'm turning on the propane tank right now. But, I mean, you got to fire this thing up. You still see in the bottom. There we go. All right, now what I'm going to do is, all the burners are going. I can tell what's going on here. We're going to put this little door back on there. We're going to let this run for about 15 minutes until it comes up to temperature. Now, everybody says, oh, I'll cook a pizza in 90 seconds and this, that, and the other thing, or 2 minutes. Maybe that's for the 22-inch model because it's got 2 different burner knobs. Maybe it's got a higher BTU. But from my last experience cooking with this, the temperature only gets up to about 400 on this gauge, but I guarantee you the temperature on the stone that sits inside here is way higher than that. So we're going to let this thing warm up, and we're going to cook a pizza in here. Now, the last one I did, like I said, it took, I don't know, 6 or 8 minutes or something like that. But the pizza coming out of this thing turns out totally different than trying to cook it like in an electric oven. I hate electric ovens. I hate electric cooktops. But that's all we have around here. We don't have gas. So this is the solution to that problem, making it a halfway decent pizza. So let's go inside. We'll start making the pizza, and we'll get ready to throw that in here. All right, we're inside to make the dough. What this is going to be is 2 cups all-purpose flour with a half a teaspoon of salt. This is 3/4 of a cup of water with a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. And then we have to put 1 teaspoon of active dry yeast into here. And then I'm going to stir this up. This is going to sit for a few minutes. I don't know, it's probably going to end up sitting like 7 or 8 minutes. Now, like I said, our Blackstone's outside warming up. You got to let that sucker run like 15 minutes to get it up to temperature. So in the meantime, we're just going to let this sit here and do its thing. Yes, Hank, everybody sees you. This is not for you, buddy. It's not for you. Come on, come on. Really? These dogs are like Velcro. This is our house hippo, Tank. Because he's a big boy and he loves food, but this is not for you, buddy. Anyways, we're going to flip around. I got to grind up all the cheese. We grind our own cheese, or actually grate it on the KitchenAid mixer. We don't buy the pre-grated stuff. They put some kind of weird stuff in there to make it stop sticking together or whatever, and anytime we can cut out an ingredient that doesn't really belong there, we're all for it. So let me flip this around, get the cheese out. We'll cut all that up, and then after that's cut up, we'll come back. I'll roll out the dough. We'll make the pizza and slap it in the oven. All right, we're gonna throw some of the cheese in there. We're gonna have this bowl right here. I'm gonna turn this guy on. Oh, it might help if I plug it in, huh? Yeah, that usually makes things work better when it's got some power going to it. So, all right. This little thing works awesome, if you ask me. This cheese grater for the KitchenAid mixer. Highly recommend it. It works really well. We also have the meat grinder for grinding meat. Sometimes we'll get certain cuts where it's like, you know, when we order our quarter of a cow or whatever, we'll get certain cuts that we're just, we're not big on that, so we'll just grind it up and make ground beef out of it. That way nothing goes to waste. So, but yeah, you can see this thing works pretty good to grate all the cheese. All right, so that's it for the cheese. Now I'm going to mix up the dough, and then we'll be able to get going on putting the pizza together. All right, here we go. We are going to dump 2 cups of flour and our salt in there. Going to dump this water with the yeast in it. Install our dough hook. We're going to drop this down. I'm probably just going to run this on 2 for a couple of minutes until it picks everything up and makes a nice big dough ball. And after that happens, I'm going to put it out on the counter, flatten it out, and put it on the pan. So we'll let this do its thing, and then we'll come back and we'll make it happen. All right, our dough is done. Gonna grab this off of the dough hook here, put it on the flour. Now, obviously, you want to make sure your countertops are clean before you start rolling dough on top of it. But some people might use a cutting board or something else. But this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use the countertop. It's got the most space. So we're going to put some of this on here. That works pretty good. One more. All right, we're just going to grab the rolling pin, kind of stretch this out a little bit. This dough recipe makes a 12-inch pizza. It's nothing big now. I think they said the stone inside the Blackstone 17-inch model pizza oven, I think they said it goes up to like a 14-inch pizza or something, but I'll tell you what, that 14-inch is pushing it. I've had a 12-inch in there with no problem. 14-inch, yeah, that might be getting a little tight. So, let me get this off my hands. Get out of there. So, this is what I do here. I'm going to go like that. All right, we're going to go like that. I'm going to take, I can figure out where I put it, the pizza cutter. And take the pizza cutter, just go around here. That'll be that. Now, a lot of times when I'm making multiple pizzas, I'll save all this dough, and the last run, I'll just take whatever scrap dough I got, and I'll make some breadsticks out of it. And that seems to work pretty good. Now, here comes the next part, crucial part. When doing this, you cannot, from what I gather, you're not supposed to have frozen pizzas in the Blackstone. It tells you to make sure they're thawed out and everything. This is cornmeal I'm putting down right here. Otherwise, good luck trying to get this thing off of here and get it into the oven. So be very generous with it. Let me tell you why. When you're doing this, you cannot let your pizza sit on this pan for too long, because what will happen is I think the cornmeal absorbs the moisture out of the dough, and then this doesn't slide. It sticks to the pan, which you don't want. You definitely can't leave this sitting here for very long. So don't have a pile of pizzas. I did it where you had 2 or 3 pizzas waiting to get in the oven. Total freaking nightmare. So you got to do these one at a time. This sauce, actually I should have shifted that up first. This is actually the Rao's homemade sauce. It's sensitive marinara. Now the reason I use this, I've tried different pizza sauces and I didn't really care for them, the bottled ones or whatever. This is actually, since it's sensitive marinara, it doesn't really have a whole lot of flavor to it, which is good because what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some oregano and some garlic, and it brings it around better than what the other stuff is out of the bottles and cans and whatnot. So this is what we've discovered we like to use for sauce. So We're going to do that. All right, now I'm going to put a little garlic powder on there. We like garlic here. Now, what I'm really looking forward to is this summer. Yeah, I'm going nuts with the garlic. This summer, we're going to have all different kinds of stuff coming out of the garden. What I'm looking forward to is a homemade homestead pizza. The only thing that we're actually going to have to store by is, you know, the flour to make the dough, because obviously I don't grow that kind of stuff. But, I mean, we're going to have our own tomatoes. We're going to have our own garlic. We're going to have, our goats are going to go into milk soon. They're going to have babies soon. When they go into milk, my wife's going to attempt to make a homemade mozzarella cheese from the goat's milk. So it'll be a first time. There'll probably be a video on that, because that's just going to be super interesting. I mean, we've never had homemade goat milk cheese on anything, but figure, you know what? If I got all my own vegetables and I got my own garlic, and the only thing I got to come up with is flour to make the dough, let's try a homestead pizza. Why not? So you can see right now I'm just throwing some toppings on. Obviously you can put whatever you want on there. You know what? There's only one onion left. Maybe I'll throw some of that in there. Yeah, it's good enough. But all right, let's throw the cheese on. I'm going to throw this on here. And then I'm going to do pepperoni on top. Obviously, if you're making a pizza, you can put whatever you want on it. Doesn't have to be what I want. Might as well use all this. I like cheese. All right, so we're going to throw that on there. Now, we're going to load this guy up with some pepperoni. And we're going to throw this in the oven and see how long it takes. Now, I like to put the pepperoni close to each other just because I know these are going to shrink. The cheese moves around, the pepperoni moves around. It looks like a lot of pepperoni on the pizza, but after it's cooked, I promise you, you'll see it. It'll be spaced out. So, oh, there goes my phone. But now that this is going to be all made, I'll just throw one in the middle. All right, now we're going to get outside and we're going to throw this guy in the oven and see what it does. So let me clean up my hands. We'll grab this. We'll go outside. All right, we're outside. This thing's a hair under 400 degrees right now, which is where it was last time. Now I'm going to take this pizza, and you're going to see it'll slide right off of here onto the stone. All right, so that's in there, and that's cooking, doing its thing. It's 11:56 right now. Hopefully the camera picked that up. You know,
I think it did.
It is really,
I think it did. Yeah, it's really windy out here.
Yeah, it's really windy out here. All right, so it's 11:56. Let me put the door on this thing. We're going to come back in 5 minutes, and we're going to see what this pizza looks like. So at 12:01, we'll see what this looks like. Now, my guess is it's going to take 6 to 8 minutes to finish it off. So we'll be back in 5 minutes. Oh, all right. So we're at 12 o'clock right now. We're gonna wait any second. We'll give it the full 6 minutes, I guess, right? But yeah, temperature's about 375. It is really windy. All right,
it's really windy.
You can see it's 12:01 right now. So let's crack the door open. I'm gonna throw the flashlight on this thing. Now you can tell it's still got a little ways to go. You see it bubbling there. I mean, this has been 5 minutes, so I'm gonna guess another 2 or 3 minutes. So I mean, it's 12:01. Let's come back at 12:04 and we'll see what the pizza looks like. I'm going to guess that'll be enough. So that would give us what? 9 minutes? 8 or 9 minutes? No. Well, the total one was 5 minutes. 12:04. Yeah, it's going to be 8 minutes. So that's about right. Doesn't cook as fast as the other one. The other one, everybody says, oh, it cooks a pizza in 90 seconds, 2 minutes. Well, it's got 2 burners and it's bigger. This one's a little bit smaller. It's got 1 burner. It takes a little longer, but I don't really care. So let's come back in a few minutes. We'll take this guy out and see what it looks like at 12:04. All right.
Tank.
Yeah, the dog's getting here. All right, it's 12:03 right now. We're going to wait. I'm going to go over a couple things on here. You see this door comes off. You got to have somewhere to set it, but these rubber grips on here are awesome. I mean, nothing is hot. Obviously, the rest of this thing's going to be hot, but I also recommend getting this hose to go to a full-size propane tank. Otherwise, you're going to go through a ton of them little ones. All this stuff you can buy on Amazon, but so far, I mean, this thing works pretty good. Like I said, it's holding about 375 on the temperature here, but the temperature on the stone, I guarantee you, is way, way higher. So,
Tank
wants pizza.
Oh.
You say hi, Tank?
Hi, Poppy.
Oh, he's gonna lick the camera. Oh, get your nose out of there.
It's fine. It's not blurry. It's fine.
So,
Tank.
All right.
Bud.
Yeah,
He's
he likes
sniffing
food.
it. All right. Here, hold on. You know what? Go over here. All right, sorry.
It is now 12:04, so it's been in there since
Tank.
11:56. So we're in there for 8 minutes.
You better go quick.
Let's see what this thing looks like. See, even then, it still looks like it's got to go a little bit. I mean, you could pull it out and eat it right now. I like the top to be a little more brown than that. So I'm going to go another 2 minutes and call it a full 10. Now, I don't know if the other day I had this out here and I made a couple pizzas, and I think the reason it went faster the other day is it was warmer outside, number one. It was a lot less windy. And the oven temperature was at 400. Today it's not getting up there for some reason. It's getting up to about 375. So I'm going to guess that makes a huge difference. You know, the variables. I mean, even the pressure in the propane tank is going to be lower today because it's a lot colder outside today than it was when I did the last pizza. I mean, it's about 40 degrees out here right now. I can see my breath as I'm talking. So that's part of I think the issue is, you know, the propane tank pressure is going to be less on a colder day. I got a lot of wind, as I'm sure you guys are hearing everything whipping around. So we're going to let this go to 12:06.
What time is it now?
12:05. So 12:06, it'll be a full 10 minutes. You know, I like to have my cheese a little brown on the top, a little bit crusty on the top. But the last two pizzas I made out of here, they were awesome. Me, personally, I would highly recommend this pizza oven. And I've seen other reviews on them. You know, some people are just, they're picky or whatever, but I'm showing you what I did from start to finish. If you want a pizza done in 90 seconds, maybe this isn't the model for you, but I was just looking forward to cooking to an oven with gas and not this electric stuff, because it cooks, to me, it cooks the crust differently. All right, it's 12:06.
All right.
So we got 12:06. We're in there for a full 10 minutes. Let me see. It's dark. It's kind of a gloomy day, so it's kind of dark inside the pizza oven. So let's turn that on. All right, that looks good to me. I got a little bit of crust on the edges. All right, I'm gonna set this down.
Tank, come on, bud. Come on.
Of course, the dog's gonna lay right.
No, I
in front of
know.
me.
You keep hitting the camera.
Another thing I recommend get one of these, dude, because to get the pizza out of there, it's a lot easier with this thing. So let's actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna shut this off. Oh, there goes the wind. It's all right, buddy. Let me shut off the propane tank, shut off the burner. That way I can go straight inside and we can cut this guy open and see what it does. Yeah, you definitely want to get one of these. Ah, see, that's perfect. Look at that. Perfect. All right, let's head inside. All right. This is the finished product. You know what? I'm going to grab the camera so you guys can have a closer look, and I'm going to put it back. But the pizza looks good. Like I said, you can see it just starting to brown around the edges. That's how I like it to be done. But this pizza oven to me is the bomb. I like it. I mean, I would recommend it if anybody's looking for a pizza oven. I would definitely do it. So let me cut this guy open. You can hear it's got a little bit of a crunch to it. It's perfect. It's not too crunchy, but it's not soggy, you know? Now, because this is a 12-inch pizza, it's getting cut into triangles. If it was a 16-inch pizza, it would be cut into squares. There's a big debate on that between Chicago and New York. Well, since we're from Chicago, normally I do squares, but on this, I'll do a triangle because it's a small pizza. So, let's have a bite of this thing, see how it is. Perfect. Really, really good. Perfect. This is probably way healthier than the frozen ones too, because there's a lot less preservatives and stuff in it. Now, yeah, the pepperoni's probably got some of this and that and the other thing, but this is a way better pizza than any of the frozen stuff. So I think that is going to wrap it up for our Blackstone 17-inch pizza oven review. I mean, you saw it start to finish, how I did the conversion, how long I let it heat up, how long it actually took to cook the pizza, how I made the pizza. So like, subscribe, and share. Stay rooted, stay connected, stay blue collar strong, and I will see you on the next video.